Hello and welcome to the most underrated show on the internet.
We're What's with the Lemon, and I am so upset right now.
Why, Justice? Why would you be upset? Is it because the Dawn still lives? The Dawn is alive
this
and
is
well?
beyond frustrating for me.
It's been, technically it hasn't been a full week
It has not.
because we recorded on Sunday. Saturday, and now we're recording on Wednesday.
We have one more day.
But we've had two sanctioned games.
Yes.
And the Dawn is still on
lives.
top.
He lives.
He's on top. I'm not going to lose. I'm just not going to lose.
I am so in my head on this.
It's insane.
It's insane.
I've never...
You've never been this good with me.
I haven't changed. You got worse or something. What? How? How did I get better? I didn't. I haven't changed anything. So explain to me why I'm beating you. What? Other than the fact that 2025 is the Dawn's year?
I
don't understand.
Joe, I can't comprehend what is happening.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
You were so sure I was joking around when I said I was going to go all year
You're not.
being undefeated.
It's impossible.
But answer me this. Are you a little bit more nervous now, the fact that you haven't beat me?
It's only been,
You
it
haven't
hasn't even
beat
been
me.
a week.
But you haven't beat me yet.
I have not. I have not
So
beaten
you don't think you're not just a little bit more nervous? You're getting angry for sure.
I'm
But
getting angry for sure. The sad part is, if I want to beat you, I think I'm going to not be able to use my new paddle.
yeah, so Justice bought like this super high-end paddle.
Not super high end.
That's like
It
professional
completely-
use.
No, completely middle of the road paddle.
I'm telling him he has to beat me in a sanctioned match.
Which means we have to use...
We're using the same paddles and an ungraded ball.
Which you have... Yes, it has no grade.
Because it's perfect. It's ungradable.
So
it's so good.
For those of you who don't know, ping pong balls have ratings.
Yeah.
They go from 1 to 5. Mm-hmm. This is unrated, meaning it is basically a ball.
It's perfect. It's the perfect ball.
It is definitely not.
It's not. It's maybe the worst ball I've ever used.
Yeah, it is a terrible ping pong ball.
Which we could use the other ball.
No, you actually said that it has to be with these balls.
I'm just nervous they're gonna break soon.
They sound like they're breaking.
If they break,
they also don't behave like normal ping pong balls.
If they break, we can use another ball.
So here's the problem. Mm-hmm. I rely on the equipment to do what they're supposed to do.
You heard it here first.
But he's
like a steroid user.
No.
He's practically Neil Armstrong up in here.
Your style of ping pong does not rely on it at all.
That's not true.
Not completely. You do not.
I can just be just as good without it. I can. But for me to counter your spins, I have to be able to spin.
You just need to be able to know which way to aim your paddle.
And spin.
You don't spin.
I do this all the time.
They don't see what you just did.
I do a little They understand the sound effect.
But
you don't need to be...
These paddles are wild. Joe loves them.
So here's the deal about these paddles. These paddles it's just us. We have it's pretty much no equipment.
You're basically telling me that I'm terrible.
No. I'm just saying you're not as good as the Dawn.
I'm gonna kill you.
Are you upset yet that you named me the Dawn last week?
I didn't. You named it.
I don't know. You called me the Dawn of ping pong.
What did you say? What did you say?
I'm just a god.
Yeah, it was like you're more like the Dawn of ping pong.
I'll take it. I'm a Dawn, man. I'm going all year.
Oh man.
Because when you just break it down to 2 men and a table, I'm practically undefeated. I will dominate another man.
This is the first time in our history of ping pong playing we have used the same material many times that I've done this bad against you.
It does make me question if I know I said it the other week. I don't think Isaiah's any good.
He is good. Joe,
I think I could probably whoop him too.
You might be able to beat everybody if they play
Dawn.
like I do.
I'm undefeated.
Yeah, watch them just destroy you. Because they don't... Well, I don't know. I will beat you. I have no doubt in my mind. You will not go this whole year
Will you beat
losing.
me in a sanctioned match?
Yes.
Okay.
I've already beaten you unsanctioned.
Unsanctioned.
But using my own paddle and...
Yeah, you using a way better paddle You're practically on steroids. Now it's all natural.
No.
As the Dawn does. The Dawn is straight edge, by the way.
Yeah.
Just to go into the
the lore.
Just-
I will play strictly with that paddle to get good. Strictly with that paddle.
Who are you
that-
gonna play against?
You.
If we're playing with those paddles, we're gonna fight, and I'm gonna beat you.
You're not.
I am.
You're not the whole time. You have now. And I do have this thing where if I want it really bad, like if I want to win, because who cares really? Like,
no one
like,
cares.
In all honesty,
other than you.
What is it gonna do if I beat you or not? You're just like, I'm not the Don no more, guys.
Yeah,
Whatever.
you will get a thing. You will feel.
It is a tickling in my bones that is just like I have to beat him.
It's a splash of the tism. That's what it is.
It probably is. It's a little bit. I want you to lose, even though
You have to be the best.
Well, part of it's like the bit would be funny if you lost.
Dude, I was so ready.
Yeah, you're ready. But at the same time, in my heart of hearts, I'm like, I gotta beat him.
Yes. Here's the problem: is I don't care.
Do you know that that's what's the most frustrating?
I know.
It's not that I'm losing. It's that I feel weird about it. It's like I have to win.
Jess, I can see it in your eyes. You can't hide the pain that you feel every time you lose.
Painful.
Every single
You're a terrible human.
time. Just over and over.
Never rub this in when I win.
No.
I'm just like, good game.
Good game. Good game. Well, yeah, because you used to be
Better. I know.
and now
I'm terrible.
2025, I'm just unbeatable.
I can't tell what it is because even when we were like just messing around,
Yeah.
like before we'd made this a thing, it was just kind of like the good old days, you know.
Yeah.
Didn't care. But as soon as you're like, let's play a game, and you
I
won.
didn't. You wanted to play a game.
Well, yeah.
And then I won. And then
Twice.
you wanted to play another game and I won.
to 5 though.
Yeah.
Those ones were a little different. It could have
just-
changed.
I don't understand.
I don't know, but this is
It's
how you always
crazy.
get in my head this way.
It's insane.
It was always like back in the day when we would play video games, and you were like, I can't lose on the first round.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Every new Call of Duty, the very first round, I would always win. Every single one.
And there's nothing I could do about it.
Yeah.
It was like the spirit of just having to mess with me came over you.
It was insane.
It was terrible to the point to where you kind of had this thing where like your best round's your first round of anything.
Which is true. It is.
Yeah.
Maybe not. It's not always it, but I'm always better at the start, and then I get worse and worse,
Worse and worse. Yeah, this has been a painful experience, and it's bleeding into other things, Joe. Not gonna lie.
What else is it bleeding into?
We played Marvel Rivals yesterday, and I didn't have a very good showing, and I strictly blame it on the fact that I
Do
am
you
in my
really?
head. No.
Okay.
But it would be funny.
It would be funny. Here's the thing, Justice.
I'm choking hard.
Gobble gobble. Does this include our sports talk again?
I guess it's our sports talk.
Are we gonna?
Do you have other things to talk about when I go?
Yeah, I have one more sports thing to talk before we
Okay.
end our sports talk. Everyone, the Bengals are out of the playoffs.
They're the other teams that needed to
stu-
lose one.
No, yes, because the Chiefs are cowards and they didn't want to have to face Joe Burrow, so they didn't play any of their starters, and the Broncos won, and it's super dumb. And I hope Josh Allen destroys the Chiefs. That's it. Okay, Justice, conclude our sports talk. I can't remember what
We
our
just said
sports
that's
talk.
been sports talk.
I thought we did something.
Well,
for
I
our
don't think there
sports
was
talk.
an outro.
I don't re-listen to these enough to know.
I don't think there was an outro.
Okay, I could have sworn.
You said you might have wanted me to make a bit out of it, like I have an intro, but we never actually did that.
I also need to figure out, because I tagged a bunch of last week's episode with sports stuff. I'm curious if I haven't looked at
Our
how the
views?
views have been.
Could you
since.
imagine? They
How-
show up and they hear these
That'd
two
be
numbnuts
so-
talking
it
about
would
ping
be
pong, and
infuriating. I bet. No one
well.
else is talking about ping pong.
no one else is talking about ping pong.
might
They
as
should.
well.
It is a competitive game.
Granted, we've talked about it for 10 minutes, so we should probably stop talking about ping pong.
Feels like nothing.
Justice, hopefully by next week, you will have a little bit of a better showing against the Dawn. But you're going to have to wait till next year. 'Cause here's the thing. This is the last thing I'll say about sports talk is after this, you only have this year to beat me. After this year, I'm retiring the Dawn.
I know.
Okay.
Joe, a year's a long time.
I know. But I just want you to know when I go undefeated all year, the start of 2026, the dawn is over. And then if you want to beat me again, you can after that.
Okay.
But just letting you know now.
Joe,
Yes.
now I need to hear about your pain.
Okay.
There's been a story, and I'm sure it will make me feel infinitely better once I hear this whole
Yeah, I
thing.
hope so. I have to preface this, everyone. I know I'm going to be a little biased, but I'm going to tell this story as truthfully and as honestly
As you possibly
as
can.
I saw the events occur and what I believed happened. Because there are some things that are up for interpretation. Because I didn't, you'll see.
Okay.
So, yesterday,
Yes.
your boy, the Don, went went to the dentist. And it has been a very, very long time since I've been to the dentist. I'm talking like 6 to 7 years.
Okay.
Since
I was
I've been
actually
to the dentist.
me and my wife were talking about it, and I thought you went pretty regularly.
No, God no.
Okay.
God no.
For
It's
somebody who's so obsessed with their teeth, you'd think that you'd be more consistent.
money.
Yeah, I know.
Money's yeah. No, it's been a long time. I also think the dentist is a little bit of a scam. But
But is that a conspiracy?
despite the point.
Is that a conspiracy
we
theory?
can get into it later. Yeah. And anyone that disagrees with me, I think is stupid.
I also think that they're somewhat a little bit of a
They
scam.
are, because if they actually cared about our teeth, of course they're going to make our teeth not great, because then they're not going to have customers. Anyway, I'm going to the dentist. This is just a normal, boring cleaning.
Yes.
Okay? I go in, and if I could do accents, I would do the accents, but I can't. My dentist, the lady that helped me, was a very old Asian lady.
Okay.
Very old, very Asian. Broken English, great. I immediately loved her. She was so sweet. We were joking, we were laughing. She was really little, and it was awesome. I loved it.
great time.
She was,
Haven't been to the dentist in a while.
haven't been to the dentist in a long time. We get back there after talking, and she's like, okay, I'm going to try to do it without the accent, but still have some of her, how she talked. She was like, need medicine? And I was like, thinking, for probably like to numb me up a little bit.
For
I was like,
pain,
yeah. I
or-
was like, I would like some. Yes, that would be awesome. And she was like, but you so big. You're a big boy. You don't need medicine. I was like, well, I would like some medicine. And she was like, okay, we start and then I'll get you medicine. Like someone will come bring medicine. I was like, okay. And then she was like, how often do you brush and floss? I was like, I brush 1 to 2 times a day. If I'm really tired at night, sometimes I don't brush at night, but I'll always brush in the morning. It's the first thing I do. I only floss maybe once a week.
Okay.
And when I tell you her face, it went from happy to just like her eyebrows went down, and she was like, that's no good. And I was like, what? And she was just like, you should floss more. Like, you need to floss every day. And I was like, I know, I'm really, but like, she wasn't laughing anymore. She was just like, you need to, like, I was like, okay. And then she was like, okay, I start now. I was like, what, the medicine? Like, I would like some medicine, please. But I'm already down. I'm on the table. And she starts. And it's just her. I think normally there's always a second person, with the vacuum.
Not on cleanings.
Okay. Because she just has the vacuum thing in my mouth
The whole time.
the whole time.
Okay.
which-
What ghetto dentist did you go
Chaz.
to?
This is Chaz
Oh man.
dentist.
Gosh.
Okay. So we're starting, and it feels all right. And she's like saying numbers. This is actually right before the clean. She's like 3-3, 3-2, 2-3, 3, like talking about.
Do you know what
whatever
that is?
Probably how bad stuff is.
She's rating, yeah.
Yeah.
Was anybody writing that down?
Yeah, there's one other lady, and I thought this lady was the other lady bringing me my medicine. But after she says all that,
This is when she's just looking,
yeah.
right?
After that, she's gone.
Yeah.
So it's just me and the Asian lady that I have made angry.
You've
And
made
I
an
don't
enemy.
know why.
You've made an enemy of this lady.
And she just keeps on saying, no, I'll wait. I'll wait a little bit longer. Okay. But she's just she does keep on bringing up, like, you should floss more. You need to floss.
I've never seen a dentist freak out more than
Yes.
this.
I was like,
And
maybe
people
I think
not-
her husband cheated on her with a pair of flossing stuff. I don't know.
Floss. Everybody doesn't floss.
Yeah, who flosses every day?
The response to every dentist is not as much as I should.
Yeah. And
Maybe
she
that's
was like,
where-
you should floss every day. Look, I'll tell you this, a little spoiler. I've flossed the past 2 days every day. This lady has terrified me. But so we continue. And she starts to go, and it's immediately so painful. Where I'm clenching the armrests so tight that my hands and arms are shaking. And tears start to form in my eye, like they start to roll. And no joke, I hear
She laughed at
and
you?
then she was like, "You're such a big boy." She just keeps on repeating, "Big boy, like you're such a like big
And you're
strong,
just kinda
big
like-
strong, like it's okay." And I was like, just clinching onto like, and she
Yeah.
starts to like I'm
Giggle.
a child, like, and I get it. Here's the thing, though. Okay, we've talked on this podcast. I've been working really hard to lose some weight.
Yeah.
This lady is counteracting that with just constantly calling me a big boy. You such big boy. You big boy.
Oh
And tears are flowing. Okay, at this point, like
Now, Joe, are you telling me that not some of those tears were sadness?
maybe just
It wasn't all pain.
when it hurt so bad. And then like it's not just like one stream, but it's like
It's
where
a
it's like
constant.
water flowing.
Yeah.
And I'm just I'm clenching so hard.
Now, I gotta
Yeah.
ask because I've had cleaning several of
Yeah.
them. Run me through what the process was. Was she doing like the like
No, that was at
buffering?
the end.
Okay, so she was just grinding it.
She's grinding and
Trying to get the plaque out.
First, and it hurts so bad.
Well, it's sharp. It's really
Yeah.
sharp.
And it's like there's so much. When I tell you there's so much blood, like I went to do this one time, thinking it was water and it was just all red. It was just
She's
blood.
a bad dentist. Like she's actually a terrible dentist.
She just cuts on. And then like because there's quite a few times I was like, ugh. And she was like, "Medicine coming. You okay? You big boy."
It never came. Did
It
it?
never came. Medicine never
That's
came.
actually messed up, dude. You could sue.
Chaz, this is a real dentist place. And I should have stopped it. I know I should have, but I wanted to be a big boy for her. Like she was calling me a big boy.
I'd be viciously upset.
Dude, I was just crying.
I'd be like, lady, get your fingers out of my mouth.
And so, towards the end, okay, when she gets to the buffering,
Uh-huh.
do you remember what that feels like?
It tickles.
It tickles so bad.
Yeah.
So then I was giggling.
So you go through the
And
camp
I was like in so much pain, but laughing. And she was like, "See, you do such a good job. You do such a good job." And I was just like, "Thank you." And like the tears finally are stopping, and I'm done. And I look, and I just have dry blood right here on my
From where you
hand,
wiped it.
and it just hurt. It hurt so incredibly bad.
Joe, that is not the experience. Also,
Uh-huh.
for cleaning, you shouldn't need medicine.
Oh,
Just so you know,
maybe she did more than cleaning.
I mean, a deep clean hurts more, and
Okay.
it's had been a while.
Because she started with asking if I wanted medicine.
Yes. Well, so if it was a deep clean, that's a little bit more intrusive. And
I
sometimes
hope to God it was a deep clean because that was hell.
I've had a deep clean, not with the numbing
Okay.
anything numb. But I've also had it with it being numbed.
Yeah.
Um,
Like my jaw still hurts.
if it was not a normal cleaning, she must have done a really deep. How long did it take her to do like the scraping?
Well, I got there at 2 and I left at 3. So it was an hour long
Cleaning.
Cleaning.
Yeah, that was a deep clean.
an appointment. Like, well, maybe it was like 45 minutes because I don't know if I got right in there at 2.
Okay.
But it hurt so bad.
Yeah, if it was a normal cleaning, you shouldn't need it. Like they're not
Dude.
like she was. First off, your mouth shouldn't be covered in blood. She was bad.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was covered in blood or just blood came out where I wiped it.
You could probably
know?
taste the copper.
Oh, dude, that's all I could taste.
Yeah.
It was so nice when she started the buffering because then I was like, oh, there's some like different tastes in my mouth. It was, and the amount of red I saw suck up that tube.
Yeah.
Well, not actually that much because my eyes were clenched shut the whole time as tears were falling out of them. And I just want to be like, I am a big boy. I am a big boy.
She tortured you, dude. And then
It felt like that.
and then laughed about it.
It giggled.
Yeah. She tortured you. My wife, who is sitting next to us, is searching for this woman.
If they
Is going to find her and ruin her day.
I say this. If you go to the dentist and they ask how often do you floss, just lie.
Every day.
Just lie. Just say every day. Just it's not worth the potential harm.
I've told the dentist flat out, I rarely floss.
I know, so have I.
And they're just like, well, you should probably floss.
I'm telling you, it has something to do with her personal life.
That
Had to have.
Joe, that's
She
scary
was so
a little
sweet
bit.
and so kind, and then it just. And then after the appointment, she was sweet and kind again.
Maybe she was stressed out about having to do what she was doing. Maybe she's not really a dentist.
That would make sense. I will say this though. Okay, so that night that happened at 2. When I was eating dinner, I think I texted you.
Yeah, it hurt.
All right, it hurts. I had to take Tylenol to eat my food because it hurt so bad to eat my food.
She did something wrong.
I don't know.
She probably shredded your gums.
It was intense. It was intense.
Is your insurance only covered by Chaz?
I don't know. That's just the easiest place.
I'm going to connect you to a better dentist.
Well, I don't need it now. I've had my cleaning. Now I just need them to do my filling. It was insane. It was insane.
That's messed
Take
up.
care of your
dude.
teeth, everyone.
No, don't
floss.
No, the real thing is if you walk into a Chaz clinic and an Asian lady is just like, you big boy, you do well, you should probably just stop. You should probably just be like, you know what? I'm not liking the way this is going. I don't have my medicine.
It was. I am so glad you brought it up because I felt like I was kind of proud of myself because I was like, oh, if I was being tortured, I might not give away information.
You might not.
Because here's the thing.
You cry a lot.
I cried so much. Guys, I am not the strongest person.
But you
on
have
the
a
planet.
high pain tolerance.
I've had 6 surgeries.
Yeah.
Going on 7. Like, I've had a lot of surgeries.
There's a little bit of a difference with a lingering pain versus an active, someone is hurting me.
It was insanity. And I was just...
I'm shocked you came and worked out after that.
Yeah,
I would have just
You
been...
saw how, like, I was exhausted.
Yeah.
Actually exhausted. And when I got in my car, guys... when I got in my car...
To come to where...
To come to you.
Okay.
Jesse called during the appointment, and I just stared at my phone. I was like, I don't want to talk.
Because your mouth hurts.
And I just started to cry again. I was just like, that hurts so bad. And I put on some 21 Pilots, and then I was like, oh, big boy. And I drove to your house and worked out.
I both think this is hilarious and horrifying. It is really horrifying that this Asian woman's out there torturing people.
God.
So this is why some people have a serious fear of the dentist.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. And I've had a lot of dental work done. I've never had an experience like this. Like, I've had a root canal, which sucked, but it sucked in the proper ways for it to
You can't go
suck.
to this woman for a filling. You can't.
She's not. She was the cleaner. My dentist is an old
What
dude.
if you go to this
And she's
clinic?
there.
She's like, you ready?
She's like, ooh, big boy in.
Big boy in. Medicine?
You don't need medicine?
You're like, no, medicine.
I'm not doing a damn thing till I get medicine in my mouth.
Bro, not even like the courtesy like numbing like gel they put on there. Dude.
Nothing. It was insane. I just was silently praying for a nurse to show up with the medicine the whole time. Please God, please God. Which I should have known because I never once heard her say.
You can bleep it, but what was the lady's name?
I don't know.
Dang, you should have asked.
Should have. She said it. And I will say, she was a little, like, she was hard to understand. And so I don't know if I was kind of before that. Like, I might have let out a few, like, sly smiles on accident and
When
stuff
she
like
was
that.
talking?
Yeah. I
So
don't know.
you think that
I don't know.
she...
I don't know.
It was clearly the floss.
It was clearly like when I tell you I saw her face change when I mentioned the flossing. It was insane.
Are you still kind of nervous about it?
Oh, a little. Because here's the other thing that kind of scarred me. The whole time this is going on, when my eyes weren't clenched shut, leaking tears,
Yeah.
I was watching Happy Feet above me play the whole time. So I'm crying, clinched to the thing, hearing this lady be like, "You a big boy."
You a big
As
boy.
tears flowing
No
down
knee
my
medicine.
face, watching a stupid penguin
Tap
to
its feet.
tap dance. Sucked.
You'll never be able to watch that movie ever
Oh
again.
my god, it was miserable.
That is truly horrible.
Yeah.
That is truly horrifying.
So that was my week. How's yours been?
Better than yours, man. My sore shoulder doesn't really seem like anything anymore.
You go to a chiropractor? You a big boy?
Oh my god, you big boy need medicine?
Oh,
Learned. If someone says, "Do you want medicine?" Don't
just-
do anything until they
just
give you
say
that medicine.
No.
Oh.
Justice. Let's move on a little bit so don't stay scarred.
Did you start sweating a little bit just for couching the whole endeavor?
It was a little rough. Sorry, I had a burp that didn't come out. Justice, it's time for a blind ranking.
Blind ranking.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. I wasn't sure what was coming at me this week.
So this is going to be, it's maybe not the most exciting blind ranking.
Okay.
And it should have been done last week.
Okay. Why?
Because we are going to blind rank.
Is this a reverse blind rank?
No, it's not.
Okay, this is a normal
This is
blind
normal
rank.
blind ranking. So the people at home that don't know how blind ranking works,
Ugh.
I have a list of 5 things that I will ask Justice to rank. He has to rank them blindly without seeing what comes next. Mm-hmm. And you can't change it.
Can't change it.
And the reason why I thought we should have done this last week and then didn't, this is the top 5 New Year's resolutions.
Oh, so like what I think is some of the best ones.
So I think I want you to blind rank for you how on the scale of like, this is your, like what you think are good New Year resolutions that you would wish for yourself.
Okay.
You know?
I got it.
Does that make sense?
It makes so much sense.
Okay. The first is read more.
What?
Read more books. Read
Okay,
more.
can I ask you how you got this list?
I looked at a bunch of lists online and they were ranking the top 10.
And a lot of these were on them.
These were the ones that were always the top 5 that I saw. Granted, this is not the order. I'm not reading you the order they were in, but reading
I've never
more,
heard that. I've never, ever,
read
ever,
more
ever, ever.
books, reading
Have you
more.
ever had somebody
Yeah.
come up to you? You have?
Yeah. A lot of people.
Oh, my New Year's resolution is to read more.
Yeah.
Now I can understand.
That's a great New Year's resolution.
Well, yeah.
Compared to so many other compared to so many others.
Okay, listen,
This is a great New Year's resolution.
I'm thinking things like, for me at least personally, it would be like read my Bible.
That goes to read more.
But I also just read a lot.
But you're not everyone. So that's why I'm saying you have to rank these for you.
I love reading, but I don't need to read more. I read enough.
Do you?
Oh yeah, I read a lot.
Okay.
This last year, I probably finished like 7 to 8 to maybe even 10 books.
That's a lot for me.
Yeah,
I don't read very much.
that's not a lot for readers. That's
No.
just a lot.
Yeah. Reading is knowledge.
Yes, probably 5.
Okay.
I do it a lot, and this is my list.
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
So, learning a new skill / hobby.
this should be totally up on my list. It's probably my number 2.
This was the number 2 across most sites.
This should be something that everybody aspires to, and you do probably second nature in some cases. You learn new skills, and obviously, but to have an actual like, I want to go learn this.
Yeah. This is your number 2. What's a skill or hobby you would like to learn? Or do, I guess. Hobbies aren't necessarily learn.
As I'm becoming a father, part of me really wishes that I was a lot more like a better handyman around the house. That that when something goes wrong, my wife's first instinct isn't to call her dad. It would be great. Would be great. Be like, no, my husband can figure that out. And to my credit, I've done that and proven people wrong.
Yeah.
I will go back to one of our more famous episodes. My wife really didn't think I could change a tire.
Which, I hate to say this, is a fair belief.
How could you
saying.
after working with me know that I wouldn't have just figured it out?
I don't. Some things you can't. Some things that should be simple are hard, just like they are for everyone.
You said I can't.
Yeah.
You made it a me statement.
Sorry. I meant, hi, me.
No.
Some things I can't figure out, you know?
Nobody believes in me.
All right, so that's your number 2.
Yeah.
All right. Spending more time with family.
Now that I have like a different job change, I don't get.
Just so we're clear, this is extended family. This is not household family.
This is not immediate family.
No, most of them were like relatives.
Cousins?
No, like it would be like spending more time with mom and dad, with me, with...
Well, isn't that immediate family?
No, your immediate family would be Kirsten.
And Levi. Yeah, I guess so. I always thought that you're...
No. Once you get married, your immediate family is your household family.
Okay. Then yeah, I'd say that's a pretty important one. I think that's number 1 for me.
Sure.
I think it's important to spend time with the people you love.
Okay.
And I was going to say, I realize that it's harder now because my job on nights that we used to all hang out, I work. I'm not there.
And you're tired. Like when you could come over, you're tired. So that makes sense. Interesting to me that people throw that as a New Year's resolution. Like so many of these obviously are like, you could do this anytime.
Yes, I think the reason why it's a good number 1 is because it's always good to make time for family.
Yeah. And by far, the number 1, which you've already used, is obviously there's 2 more on this list, but I'm going to spoil this. Weight loss.
Which is, I'll put that at number 3.
Okay. That is the absolute, on every single list.
Always.
I've seen, oh, I'm going to lose some weight this time. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to get stronger.
People
different versions of those. All right. This, honestly, I think this is the perfect list for you because number 4, because you've filled all your other spots, I think you would put this at number 5, but you put reading there, is travel more. I think that would have been your number 5 for sure. But
Maybe,
it fits right into your number 4.
It does. It's a good slot in number 4.
So your list is number 5, reading more. Mm-hmm. Number 4, travel more. Number 3, weight loss. Number 2, learn a new skill or hobby. And number 1, spend more time with family.
Aww.
Justice, we'll see by the end of the year if you do any of those New Year's resolutions.
Man. Don't like having people being able to be tracked like this.
That's part of a podcast.
It's part of a podcast.
Get tracked. And that's been
Blind rankings.
Where's a song, man?
It's not a song.
I want a song at the start and I want a song at the end.
I don't do outros.
God, what do you do in this show?
I make all of the songs.
Which is barely any.
At least 3.
Okay, well, you want a good song? Would you like... do you have anything you would like to talk about before I lead us into another bit?
No, man.
Okay, let's get deep.
When you're feeling a little shallow, you know what to do. Let's get deep with the What's with the Lemon crew.
Oh, yeah. It's a little hump at the end of excitement and cheer.
I liked what your let's get deep.
Oh, yeah. Let's get deep. Or I'm getting deep. I can't remember. All right. Justice, I got 5 more questions. We're making down this list pretty good.
How many questions?
It was 100.
100, yeah. We do 5. We do 5 every week.
We'll see.
You said that so disappointed, like I should have remembered.
You should have. This is a date. You're not doing very well. I also have absolutely no idea if people love or hate this bit.
I think they probably like it because people like it when we talk about deep stuff.
Do they?
I think so.
I think people mostly like when we talk about dirty stuff.
Maybe.
I'll put that that will be the poll. Do you want deep or dirty? We'll see what people want more of.
Yeah, fair enough.
God. Okay. Oh, I put a dirty one on here and I know you won't leave it in. You won't leave it in. I'm going to ask it though. and then we'll see if we have to cut it or not. Because I
Okay.
know you're not going to leave it in. I know. And that's why I'm making a big deal about it now, so people know that you made me cut it when it's not in the episode.
Okay.
That Justice made me cut it, but that's why I asked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, no. Well, if you have me cut it, then we're only doing 4 questions this week. Okay?
Okay.
Justice.
If you're having a hard time even asking,
No,
I
no.
don't know.
I'm trying to think if there's a way I can change how I ask it to make you feel like it's PG enough. We're obviously dating, but we would
Obviously.
we would wait till we were married before we do this.
Okay.
So it's very godly and PG.
Yeah.
Okay. Is foreplay important for you to feel comfortable during sex?
No.
Do you think it's needed and important though?
Yes.
Does that mean I can leave that in?
Yeah.
So that's PG enough for you, but other things isn't?
Asking questions about sex is not bad, Joe.
You don't
But-
make any goddamn
But if you
sense.
make it vulgar,
Okay.
especially you
Do you
phrased
like
it
foreplay?
well. I think it's really
Or
nice.
could you do without it?
No, I like it.
Okay.
I can do without it,
Okay.
but I do like it. It's nice. It's just being more intimate with each other.
Yeah. Do you have a specific foreplay thing that you really
This
like
is
to
where you
do?
got to be careful with what you say, Joe.
Is there? Is that okay to
Huh?
ask?
Is there a specific?
Is there a specific thing that you're like, yeah, we're doing this?
I'm not going to
foreplay
answer
thing?
that.
Okay. Okay. Is there something you really don't like?
So far, I have not experienced something that I really don't like.
Oh, wow. That's very open-minded of you.
Yeah. Never mind.
Oh.
I do know one thing, but it's not because it's happened a lot. It's happened once, and it will never happen again.
Do you want to talk about it?
Nope.
Can we talk about it, though?
No.
Please?
No.
I know what it is.
I know you
everybody.
know what it is.
I think it would be good for the people to know. I won't share your secrets, but I just think it's very important for people to know.
Yeah. Come ask me in person.
Oh, wow. That's brave.
They won't do it. Nobody asked, but
Well, I could go a lot deeper in this conversation, especially with this question, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to make you I don't want it to be like too painful or anything like
this
that.
is the next question.
No.
This one.
We should move on. Yeah.
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 I answered your question, Joe.
Okay. Okay. I'm just trying to think now ahead. How can I get us to talk about this stuff more? I just have to
Phrasing's
form-
important.
Psh, sounds like dirty talk isn't one of your foreplay. All right. Ready for the next question, my man?
I'm ready.
Okay. Again, I feel like I promise you I'm not trying to dogpile on you after what your ideal date was. But here's another question for you.
I've this week have gotten a lot of "you're so boring."
From anyone?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Justice, what's the best way to cheer you up on a bad day?
It's not what you think.
Oh, what is it?
The best way to cheer me up on a bad day. Well,
Don't look at her. You tell me we're on the date.
I was gonna say the best way to cheer me up on a bad day is to affirm me, like to encourage me and to
Okay.
like say like point out things that I do right,
Got it.
or basically just reaffirm the things that I do well when I'm having a bad day, because then it makes me feel a lot better.
Okay.
That's probably one of the best ways
Wow.
to cheer me up.
Oh, okay.
It probably is the best way to cheer me up, actually.
Okay. Not like, hey, I got you a big bowl of Cheerios and because Cheerios and you can go play some games or something like that?
Nah.
Okay.
It wouldn't make my mood. It wouldn't stop what had already happened.
Okay.
It wouldn't be like a combative thing. It would just be like, here.
Got it.
In fact, if that was how somebody would try to cheer me up, I feel like they just don't want me around. They try to get me to go do something else.
Do you remember what you would do when you were little? And you were
When I was angry and upset?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you used to do when you were little?
When I was a tweener and teener,
Yeah.
when I was super angry or upset, I would watch.
You needed to watch.
That's right. I
needed
forgot
to.
about that. I was super intense about it. I would watch like a war movie.
Yeah, like
like Saving Private Ryan.
yeah, like you
or
needed to watch people kill people.
it wasn't necessarily just that.
I'm glad you said just that because that was a big
It
part.
was a part of it. Like the violence for some reason helped, but it was also the idea of, because a lot of the movies that I watched, like Saving Private Ryan, Last Samurai, there was a lot of like just men going through hard stuff that was overcoming stuff. And for some reason for me, that was just like, yeah, I can do that. I can overcome.
Got it.
And violence also helps. But
Yeah, of course it does.
that I kind of grown out of that actually.
Oh,
I don't watch war movies when I'm sad.
well, you probably. I think it's mostly because you don't have the time.
Probably.
You'd rather spend your time doing other stuff
That's true.
than watch a 4.5 hour war movie.
I love war movies though still.
I hate war movies. I like some war movies.
You can't say Hacksaw Ridge isn't amazing.
It is, and like I love what's the Scottish one?
Braveheart.
Stuff like that.
It's a romance war movie.
It's a war movie.
I mean, yeah, but it's a romance war movie.
All right, Justice. I thought I maybe should have prepped you with this. So if nothing comes to your head, we can circle
What's
back.
a way to cheer you up, man? You can't get away from all these questions.
Food. Go like being like, let's go out. Let's go to Taco Bell. Like that was I know it's dumb, but food like
I mean, food is a huge, like, definitely
going to eat food with people I love. Like when I was in a relationship, just going out and like having that time, like not eating at home, going out somewhere and going to eat.
I love doing that too.
Yeah, that was always a good way to just make me forget about anything else kind of going on and kind of refocus in. And I enjoyed it. For as weird, yeah, I love food. Food just makes me always feel better, which is sad because
We're all addicted to food.
we're so addicted to food. I love it. But yeah, like I would take food over comforting words is always really nice, but it would make me feel like you don't mean that, or how could you mean that? What are you talking? Like you're just full of crap.
That's totally your psyche, though, dude.
Yeah.
It's your whole I don't matter. Like you're lying to me.
Yeah. So, but food can't lie.
Joseph.
Food can't lie.
Joe, do you still see a therapist? You need to tell him about these things.
Or what would help me cheer up is me helping someone else.
Right.
That would honestly it'd probably be that then food.
It takes your. I feel like we should unpack this.
Nah.
That's all right.
All right, Justice. This is the one that if we need to circle back, we can.
Okay.
What is the best advice you feel like you've ever given to someone?
That I've ever given to somebody.
You've ever given to someone.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
That's kind of like. Do you remember? On Christmas.
Yeah.
What's the best advice you've ever gotten in your entire life?
Yeah, well, that's why when I saw
You
it,
should
I
have
was like,
prepped
oh,
me.
this is perfect.
Should have prepped me. I'm going to have a
That
brain
one
fart.
is so much harder. The best advice
You've ever gotten?
received.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's easier to think what's a pair
Shoot,
of advice
man.
that I felt really good about giving. Doesn't have to be the best, but something like you're like, oh, I think like I think I nailed it. I really helped that person.
This might be crazy, but I've never thought of that. I've never thought of that as a thing.
Like that you've given good advice.
Well, no, but it's weird to think about, like, because I've talked to so many people, and I know I've given advice to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I've never once been like, that was really good. I should have, like, way to go. Like,
Yeah.
You gave him
That
great advice.
is really surprising.
I don't think of it that way. Like, I'm so, like, when talking to somebody about what's going on, and when I'm just with them in that moment, and I'm helping them in that moment, I'm trying to think. I think the best advice, because the best advice you give is advice you've learned.
All right. Yeah.
And I think some of the best advice I've ever gotten was, and I've tried to tell people this too, is learn how to have grace and forgiveness for others around you.
Okay.
And I wasn't like that growing up at all.
No, I think we talked about you were very black and white.
Yeah, I was pretty judgmental too. And but learning how to truly forgive somebody, even if they don't deserve it,
Yeah.
was some of the best advice I've ever gotten. I try to give that to other people because it's very freeing when you choose to let things go.
Do you feel like, do you have any memories of you giving that advice and feeling really good about it? Or do you mostly feel like, oh man, they definitely didn't take that in?
It's one of those things. It's probably one of the most advices that I give to people Because they'll tell me all these stories about things that they're struggling with, and they'll tie it back to somebody.
Yeah.
I'll be like, you have to forgive that person.
Yeah.
To move on, you have to. And in those moments, no one's ever listening
No.
to you, really.
No.
It might sink in, but it might not take effect right away.
Yeah.
I'm always glad I get to share that with people, because it's the gospel, and a lot of it. It's a lot of what Jesus came down to show us how to do.
Yeah.
But so I never regret giving that advice. It's probably the best thing I could do.
What do you like the most about yourself? One physical and one emotion. What's a physical trait that you really like about yourself? And be honest. And an emotional trait you really like about yourself.
My shoulders.
Your shoulders?
My shoulders. I like my shoulders.
Okay.
Mainly because they're the one thing that's still somewhat
Do
physically
you
impressive.
like them because you get the most compliments on them?
I don't get the most compliments on them.
Oh, what do you get the most compliments on? Your chin?
I don't get complimented very often.
You used to.
No, I didn't.
Are you not talking? You're full of crap.
Who complimented me?
Everyone when you first got back to the States? Literally
Or
any-
back to the States?
Back to the States, yeah. Pizza, steak. You got complimented all the time. Elmo or emo.
They didn't
what-
really
what-
compliment me. They just creeped on me all the time.
That's compliments, bro.
I didn't feel like
just-
it was a compliment.
Just because you don't
They
get
never
compliments
once-
in the way you
They
wanted
never
them,
once would point out things about me.
They did, I mean, they pointed out things that they wanted about you.
You're so weird, bro.
So your shoulders is your answer for that?
Shoulders would be my answer.
All right.
It's one of the things that have stayed pretty consistent my entire life, because I've always been broad. So I like my shoulders. Emotionally or characteristically?
Emotionally. I don't know what the difference is, so whatever one you want to use there. But the site said, the gay site, just so everyone can remember, I'm taking this from a gay dating site, said emotionally.
I think I do pretty well with keeping calm in tough situations.
Okay, so what would that be? Your level-headedness? Like, I'm trying to think of how a different way to verbalize that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Level-headedness would kind of work.
Yeah, I'm
You can be
level-headed.
very level-headed.
We say a lot in this episode, just so you know.
I know, but I have a lot more time to edit it than normal, so
It's our normal recording night.
yeah.
I really don't know what it would be. Because it's not characteristic; it's an emotion.
All right,
That's what it
would
was.
characteristic be easier for you? Let's do that. What characteristic would, unless that's just going to be just as hard.
I mean, they're both kind of difficult. I feel like it's really hard to say. I've always felt this way, and we can get into this. I've always felt like saying those things about yourself is really hard to do, because those are things that people should point out in you. You can. There's certain things like emotional.
Disagree.
Like when it comes down to things like, oh, he's loyal. Like I could say, like, I'm loyal. There's no weight attached to that.
But here's the other thing.
There would have to be people that be like, yeah, he is. Here's why.
I think you should compliment yourself more. And that's just people. I think people need to compliment themselves.
I agree.
More. Like, physical attributes that you like, and if you don't know, you should find them. And then emotional attributes that you really like, admire about yourself, because it's so easy to say those about other people. It's a lot harder for us to say about ourselves. But that's the thing.
It's because you with other people, you've tested those things in some way or another.
Yeah, but
they've been tested in one way or another, and you've seen them.
So you don't think you've been tested?
I've been tested, but yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you which to me is like that stands out amongst the rest.
It doesn't feel. I don't know how that doesn't feel healthy.
It's not.
You guys hear that?
Yeah, something fell upstairs. It's probably
Bread.
Kirsten's. It was probably Kirsten's.
Blaming your wife right away, huh?
Well, her purse was kind of teetering on the edge of a ledge there.
The purse that you got the phone out of?
I just left it where it was and reached in and grabbed it. I should have moved it because I had the thought that's kind of close to the edge, and I didn't do it.
So you say you're loyal, but you're also willing to throw people under the bus.
I just said I think it was someone's. I just said I think it was somebody's purse.
I don't have a purse, and you don't have a purse. Who has a purse here?
Saying what I was saying, though, I don't think that's me denying that I don't have great qualities. I know I do, like, because I've worked on them. But
Yeah.
I don't know if I would just be like, this one is my favorite thing about me.
See, you're even trying to make light of it though a little bit. I think that's not healthy. I think if you know them, but if you don't feel like you can even be proud of them, that's not a good sign. Like proud enough to vocally share, like, hey, I'm proud of this quality I have. If you feel like no,
No,
it doesn't count unless someone else says it.
no, and that's not really what I mean.
Okay, because that's what it kind at least that's what it sounds like to me. Like
I'm
it
not.
doesn't count unless someone else says it.
No, I'm saying it should be. It means, I guess it not means more, but having people recognize what's in you, you know. So like it'd be like, for instance, right? If I was just like, well, I'm really kind and generous. Well, what have
Yeah.
I done that's really kind and generous?
Yes.
I can say any of these things, and I'm trying to be as honest as possible. So I'm like, I can even be like, I'm an honest person, and it's like for the most part I am, but I'm not always.
Yes. I just
So
think it teeters too much to
negativity.
well, not even negativity, but also the fact that's like, okay, are you just now doing these traits and they only count if people acknowledge them? Or
No.
are you doing them to actually be like, I'm a better person?
So if you were going to ask like what you were, so what you're asking me what is my favorite attribute about
Yeah.
myself,
Yeah.
emotionally or
Yeah.
characteristically.
Not what other people like.
I like that it kind of goes with the other one. I like that I can look at a situation and think through clearly for the most part.
Okay.
I like that as I've gotten older, even in really tough situations, I've been able to keep calm, even when I've wanted to be angry. I like it how like, and I'm proud of those things. So like, because I know that that's God's heart. I know it's His heart to be calm in the storm. I know it's His heart to not respond out of anger. He'll respond as graciously and as kindly as possible. And I try my best to do that. I'm not saying I'm perfect. Definitely have had my moments. But like with things that matter, like not like our ping pong match, but when things that matter, like I feel like I'm very calm and I'm very like understanding in certain ways.
Perfect. That was a great answer.
Yeah. What
Had
about
to,
you?
Had to nail it out of you. So I like this question because one of the things me and my ex did, one of the is kind of before we start dating, I was like, every day, for a month, we should say something like that we like about ourselves instead of saying something that we like about the other person.
Okay.
You know, keep it to ourselves. And it was really good because I'm bad at that.
Yeah.
So that really helped me out. And I think it helped her out quite a bit too. I truly, and this is a weird one, my favorite thing physically about myself, like I'm not a very like, I don't
You're
think
not
very
vain.
highly of
You're
myself.
not vain.
No. This feature of me is 100% genuinely my favorite thing about me. And it is my left eyebrow. At the start of it, it puffs out in a weird way, and then it goes normal a little bit. I don't know if you can
I
kind
can
of see
see
it.
ya.
That is my favorite feature about myself. I see it, and it makes me happy.
Why?
I don't know. But
Just the uniqueness?
I don't know if it's unique. I think it's cute. I don't know. I love it. I
It's
love
amazing.
it.
That's really
And
funny.
it is one of those things that swimming has destroyed my eyebrows a little bit, but that's still there. And so I'm very happy that's still. I hope it stays there the whole time, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But that is by far my favorite physical attribute about myself.
Okay, what about you?
I
Like
love that.
emotional or characteristically?
I know there's a lot of downsides to this, but I really do like that I care so much about wanting to make sure the other person's happy. And being
There
in a
is downsides,
there is
but-
tons of downsides to that, but like really I want to make sure they feel seen, they feel heard, and not in a cheesy dumb ways, but in a real way. And I guess I've been around so many people, especially like in the work world and just in other places that are like me monsters. And I don't feel like I'm a me monster. And I feel like hopefully I've my personality and I've created this space that people feel like they have been around another human that cares.
Right.
Even if I'm going to mock you like just relentlessly. but you know, like hopefully past that's Joe show like I'm present and I want you to know that
Yeah.
you're important.
Yeah.
I
I
think
like
that's
that.
it. I don't know a better way to verbalize that, but
God, I could have been such a bad me monster.
yeah. I mean, you
Man.
could have. And I've worked with so many terrible me monsters, and those are not fun people.
Yes. Agreed.
All right, last question.
Dang.
I know that was a little bit.
This is getting deep time, Joe.
This is deep. We have gone deep.
Yeah.
If they could have only known the first title of this song, bit, but it was gone forever. All right, Justice, and we'll see if you don't feel like you want to share names, you don't have to.
Okay.
Up to you. What was an experience where you felt let down by one of your friends?
Ooh.
Yeah,
I've had a lot.
I know.
Had a
And that's
lot.
why I was like, I don't know if you want to. You don't need to say names if you don't even want to be like share the full story. You don't need to. You can just be like, yeah, I got like at this moment, someone really let me down. Like, I don't know how deep you want to go in it, but going deep on a date. This is our 4th date now.
I've had some really like stupid kid stuff moments.
Yeah.
Right, where like a buddy totally like ousted you to the girl you had a crush on,
Yeah.
and you don't know what to do with that, and you get angry and you want to hurt them. Had that happen.
Yeah.
I've had people try to gaslight me to think that my emotions that I was feeling weren't real.
I mean, you've had people like pitchfork you too.
Pitchfork me.
You know, fire and brimstone.
Oh yeah,
Pitchfork.
should kick me out.
Yeah.
Let me down.
I didn't know how deep or light you wanted to go with it, you know, or if you even wanted to. I don't know.
I'm trying to think of like.
And you're good. A lot of times I cut these thinking times down.
I
a
know.
little bit, so
So there's not a ton of dead air.
it flows a little bit smoother.
Do you have one that comes to mind for yourself?
I mean, I have a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's how
How
depressing do we
want
want to get with it? You know.
Yeah, there's not in these situations. It's hard to make a joke out of it.
I mean, going deep isn't jokey. Though.
No. But one came to your mind.
Yeah, several. If you need time to think, I can.
Throw some out, man.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think I can't.
That's actually kind of surprising to me.
What? Oh yeah.
Okay.
What do you
maybe
mean?
Maybe I'm thinking like from earlier years, but
Oh
I can
yeah,
see
no,
it
I'm
more
not-
happening.
I mean, there's like one or two from early years, and
Yeah.
I could think of way stupider ones from early years.
Mine are mainly earlier.
Are they really? That's
yeah.
great.
Um,
Ish, I think.
Yeah. I this is gonna sound bad,
Ooh.
and I don't want it to.
Okay, I can cut it if it sounds too bad.
This is gonna sound bad, but I don't let people get super close anymore.
Okay, that doesn't sound. That's not like I had to cut it kind of sound bad.
I really have to like if someone's gonna be like I'm gonna say it this way, it's gonna be weird, the inner sanctum kind of friend who sees everything.
Yeah.
They really have to prove to me that that's what they want.
Yeah.
Before, when I was younger, I wanted those friends and I tried to get
You
them.
craved those friends.
Yeah. And I tried to get them and it never worked. You just come off so needy.
Yes.
And I did. I came off super needy. So, but I think because of some of those things that I got let down with, I think part of it was because of my overwhelming need to have somebody there to be my best friend or something like
Yeah.
that.
Because I wasn't good enough. No.
I think.
Do you think that changed mostly when you came to after Nation Builders? When you came to America?
Nation builders.
I meant like when you stopped letting people in. I don't think that was.
I didn't. So I let people in, but it's they have to prove to me that they're like.
Yeah, I'm saying
That
when do you
they're-
think that? I think that happened when you came to the States.
Maybe. I think it started in Africa. I think so. I think it definitely solidified here.
Yeah,
Because
probably
I was
started when you lost all your weight. Yeah.
It's because I didn't trust people as much because I after the
I mean, you saw them change.
I
You
saw them
treat
actively
you
change
better.
to my appearance.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so messed up.
Yeah.
And I got mad and bitter. I've forgiven those people. They,
Have you?
yeah,
Way to go.
like we recently were at an event with a lot of those people there. And I was shocked with the overwhelming sense of like, I really love these people. And I wish that they were doing better.
Yeah.
I wish that they were really happy.
Yeah.
And I wish that they were closer to God.
Yeah.
And then it was shocking, but it showed just like how God really connected us to those people, even though weren't always the closest with them. We were really connected to them.
Yes.
The thing that let me down the most, one of my biggest letdowns in my entire life, I think, and it's gotten way better, but was my relationship with our sister.
Oh, whoa.
It was such a huge pain point growing up.
Yeah.
A lot of, I think for her too, actually, if you asked, a lot of the issues we struggled with was because of how we viewed our relationship with each other. I was always trying to get her approval, which then turned into competition because I wasn't getting it.
Yeah.
So then I was, like you had pointed out, I wanted to be better than her. And then that just caused all kinds of issues.
Yeah.
But the reason why it's the biggest letdown, and she's apologized, and I totally forgive her. I love her. Is that your older siblings should be the people who protect you the most.
Yeah.
And I felt that way for you.
Yeah.
I felt, and that's why, like, even when you went through what you were going through, I was devastated because I couldn't do what I couldn't always break through. I never felt like our older sister was protecting us. And she went through a phase, and I again, don't blame her, but it was actively tearing down.
Yes. It was the opposite.
And I just want to encourage family members like out there, who's ever listening, like what you speak over your siblings, it matters, man. It matters. Even if it's small, even the silly things. Like I even know like our older brothers have had lots of moments that maybe started out as teasing but went too far.
Yeah.
And caused division.
Because it's not just a older sibling. Like if you're a younger sibling, you have to take responsibility.
You do too. Yeah. Absolutely. Like you are supposed to look out for each other. Yeah. That's what a family unit's supposed to do.
Yes.
But in our day and age, it's not that.
No.
And family units tend to dislike each other. And I mean, you're stuck with somebody for a long time. It can happen.
Yes.
There has to be an understanding of, you have to be able to let things go fast.
Yeah.
And it's important.
It's really funny that you were. I don't think I struggled with that very much, especially with you and Liberty, because I never like you beat into me, not on purpose, but I was never competitive because you beat into me how much I wasn't on your level.
Like with ping pong now,
just
killing me.
Video games and other things. I think you absolutely destroyed my competitive drive.
Maybe.
Which is fine. Like I'm so happy with how we grew up, and I'm so happy with obviously our relationship. But that's one thing I never thought I was on your level.
As I was still such a horrible outcast, man. Nobody likes that kind of guy.
So funny.
Yeah.
That was good.
What was yours?
We'll see. I mean, again, there's a bunch. I guess just kind of going in with sibling stuff. Like our oldest, kind of during the same fallout I had with my relationship, I had he was a pretty central part in that as well. And he was someone that I really loved and I really trusted as an older brother, and at the time as my pastor. And he sided with the other person. And that's his right. Is kind of crazy to me in the ways that he specifically used and said a lot of things he knew that would tear me down and just crush me. And he did it on purpose, and part of it was to try to keep me keep me in line and keep me in
Manipulative.
Yeah. So I don't know if that counts as a friend letting you down
It's the same.
in the same vein as that, but it was one of those things that was just like, kind of, I really, kind of after everything, really did my best to not talk about it all or share. Like, I wanted to just shoulder everything that happened and still honor him and still honor my ex and be like, I can hold on to this. I can be the bad guy. I can be because I was the one that ended it. Mm-hmm. But part of that, like, taking ownership over everything is also telling the truth.
Yeah.
And I don't know the whole truth, but if I never share my portion of it, I've just already seen the poison that other people can do with my name. Mm-hmm. So I would say his just him not standing up and actively trying to destroy me in that area, even if trying to give him, maybe he wasn't trying to destroy me, but keep me subdued and keep me in the fog. That was a huge betrayal, and that sucked.
Yeah.
So that's a recent one, and then there's ones as kids and stuff too. But
the thing that we learn about life is that everybody's been hurt by people that they care about.
Yeah.
And which goes into the whole thing about learning how to forgive people, because you can't go through life harboring those kinds of bitterness. It just doesn't work.
It doesn't.
It is a poison. It is a poison that is just, I'm so thankful that the Lord helped me with this. And the biggest reason because of it is because of my own failures.
Yeah.
It's the only reason I have this kind of like understanding of it. It's like, I know that I've messed up so bad. Mm-hmm. Like in my own mind, maybe it wasn't so bad, but in my own mind, I feel like I really blew it.
Yeah.
So how can I not have grace for people who have also gone to that point? Mm-hmm. Or have just made a mistake, made an error.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes things a little bit feel more premeditative and not as like, oh, that was an accident. But even still.
I think it's interesting with the stories we both picked. I think they would both, if they were honest with themselves, they would be able to say, yeah, it's because they didn't let go of their own hurts.
Yeah,
and they just stewed in their venom and their hatred. And it became something else entirely.
You have to be able to acknowledge where you failed.
Yeah. And if you don't, you're screwed.
You're really, you're in a bad place, because it clouds you. Mm-hmm. It brings, and then everything you do from that point on is out of that.
Yeah.
And it's dangerous. So you really have to learn how to take ownership, but also forgive, and to not hold people in debt to you for anything. It's like, hey, I'm responsible for how I feel about this situation, not you. Yes, you hurt me, but I'm responsible for how I act in that regard. One of the hardest things to do, man. It's one of the hardest things to do.
I'm upset because we're past where we normally ever record, and I had such a churchy question I wanted to ask you. I'm probably gonna have to save it till next week,
because we're pretty
we're an hour and 10 minutes into it now. Man. So
okay,
I don't know.
We should save it.
We'll save it. So do some call outs for me, Justice.
Well, guys, you can find us on our Instagram and at What's with the Lemon. I think I don't have our Instagram handle, but we are at What's with the Lemon, YouTube, and What's with the Lemon, Spotify. I don't know what to do. I don't like these call-outs. We've never done these. You give me a sheet of paper and I'll read it off to you.